Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the same world as an anime podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, it's time to duel! This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Welcome, everybody. I am Brooklyn Rage. This is Moxidine, here with the deft and dynamic duelist himself, Isekai Sensei Sama Brad. Brad, how you checking?
I play Dark Magician. That's the only card I have.
So, and we are joined by the true holder of the heart of the card, special guest star B.
I played a frustrated Celtic Guardian in defense position. I'm so frustrated.
Face down.
Face
down. So you don't know about it.
Like all good.
Classic Warriors. Goodness gracious. We're somewhere in the Foxbox arc?
What? No. I mean, yes,
we
but
can't
no.
be at the end because this was the end, but we can't because we haven't done the middle, so we can't talk about all the things because we haven't done all the things yet.
Oh, we're recording this in the middle.
Yes.
But it is the last episode.
Okay, so we're just going to... Whatever, I'm not going to think about that right
now.
You're
going to spoil it to me. I'm not going to fucking tell anyone.
We're recording, B. It's the episode. But yes, we're covering...
They will have heard things that we recorded after this.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to think of, like, this is like a fake liminal space. It only
Time paradox podcast
it.
recorder. Yeah. But yes, we are covering Yu-Gi-Oh!
Not the most complicated recording schedule we've had.
So yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was written and arted by Kazuki Takahashi. Important to note that he has little to no hand in future Yu-Gi-Ohs, which I didn't know. He also did I'm not sure what to call it, but he had a manga called The Comic that came out in Weekly Shonen Jump in 2018 that was collected in one volume. That was localized and is on the app. I haven't read it yet.
Translated by a pedophile. Wait, no, positive thing. It's really good. Translated by a pedophile.
I hate that I have to ask this. B, do you know if it's the same pedophile that was translating Jujutsu Kaisen?
It's the exact same pedophile that was translating Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, well, then...
We knew change happened in the future.
Yeah.
It just took a while.
They got him.
Yes.
They got
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Been compromised to a permanent end.
Oh my goodness. He also had a Jump, not the pedophile. This is Kazuki, the author. He also had a Jump Plus series called Secret Reverse that is possibly similar. It seemed like it was only had 1 year listed. It was like from like 2019 or something. More research is required.
I feel like you need to pick up the fact that this is a Shonen Jump Plus series starring Iron Man and Spider-Man.
What? Secret Reverse?
It's released in English as a comic trade paperback. It's a full-colour, left-to-right series in which Iron Man and Spider-Man get stuck playing a card game against a villain. But not
Why are we covering that? We'll cover that at some point.
I keep having this. I put it in the notes from a comic episode of Shonen Flop, and they really just brush past it. I'm going, it's fucking Marvel Shonen Jump. It was a big deal.
We will file that for later.
You need to bold things more often.
Yes.
Oh, I don't need to anymore, do I, at the moment?
That's fun. Okay, so to be clear, we're covering the first chapter, actually the first 3 chapters, of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. This is not actually the first chapter of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but for the gimmick of this art, we need to start here. This distinction, if my understanding is correct, it is a Western-only thing akin to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Yu-Gi-Oh! Original ran for 59 chapters from March 1997 to March 1998. Duelist picks up directly from there and runs until 2003. Again, this is confusing because there's a third part it was split into in America that Wikipedia tells me is called Millennium World, but that isn't on the Jump app. What is on the Jump app is something called Yu-Gi-Oh! R, which appears to be a sequel series not written by Kazuki. Look, I'm here for Brooklyn Joey. Let's just get the show on the road.
What the fuck are you on about? Millennium World's on the app.
Okay, maybe I just didn't see it. There's a billion Yu-Gi-Ohs on the app. There's too many.
There is.
Too many Yu-Gi-Ohs.
Yeah, Millennium World's right there. So that's the first...
It didn't show... All the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Showed up first.
The opposite of a dearth.
The opposite of a dearth.
Year 1 of the series, its own thing. Final year of the series, its own thing. Everything in between, its own thing. That's the model they took. So this is technically chapters 60 to 62 of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Correct. Okay,
Which makes a lot of sense because they didn't explain a lot of things.
No. So even more confusing this. So the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime for Duelist ran in Japan from April 2000 to September 2004. There was already an anime of the original set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Stories from a different animation company. Then 4Kids got their gummy bits on it and ran it on Kids WB from September 2001 to June 2006. I'm also seeing, much like Ultimate Muscle, that more episodes were specifically ordered for the West. To even further confuse this, we're watching episode 2 because that matches up to the first 3 chapters of the manga. Gosh, this, as much as I love this arc, this has been such a mess.
Yeah.
Just
trying to
fully
connect
abandons the real conceits of Shonen jumping the gun and instead just gone, what if we just do later things from later things?
It's literally just this entire arc is just an excuse for me to go back and watch these 4Kid dubs that I grew up with. but
it's
trying
like,
to connect them between my own research and just how the manga connects up to the anime, it has just been a mess.
It's like I broke it down on the spot for you guys, like in Discord messages before recording this, and it's like out of all the 4Kids shows I could like find listed, like only one of them is actually viable to the true Shonen jumping the gun concept, and that's Shaman King. Everything else doesn't
which the
match
audience
up
already has
properly.
heard, which was admittedly the one that was the least, like, what's the most straightforward. Ultimate
Did
Muscle.
you tell B? We already recorded Shaman
Yeah, we
King.
did Shaman King,
Yeah.
which we can talk about without beeping because it already happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. And again, Ultimate Muscle, which is so great because you have to take 2 chapter 1s to
Yes.
make the race.
Ultimate Muscle, who has a prologue, but then it has a chapter 1, but it's in the middle of things. But then also the first episode of the anime is like both the things that happen in both the prologue and that first proper chapter, but also things that haven't happened yet.
Yeah.
And other
Yeah.
things that don't happen. It's
It
like
does-
the
it
most
does-
just like,
It does chapter 1 and prologue chapter 1 at the same time, and then goes to prologue chapter 2 in the next episode.
But chapter 1 is clearly in the middle of a story. It's not like, hey, you could get more information if you read the prologue. It's literally in the, whatever. We already talked about it.
It's a mess because they
A
were
pizza is
continuing
cooking
on
in the
from
oven. We need to get
Yeah.
through this.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! So time for
Fucking
my
love
Mox Speed
Yu-Gi-Oh.
manga, Moxie manga, Mibbly Mop. Duel 1. Challenge. Duel Monsters. A card game where players become wizards who summon monsters and cast spells to do battle. Everybody in Yugi's class plays it. Yugi is currently overseeing Junichi, get his behind handed to him by Taya.
Jonoichi.
Anzu. With ease. Turns out, how did you say it?
Jonoichi.
Jonoichi's entire deck is all monsters, and that's why he's losing big time. He has no spells. He asks Yugi to train him to
He's
get
playing
better.
a green deck.
What? Green deck?
In Magic.
Mono green, you'd mostly run creatures, but you'd have creatures with effects, and Genoichi doesn't even have that.
He just likes big number. He asks Yugi to train him to get better, and hey, the Duel Monsters tournament is on TV tonight. This is perfect. So later we're at home, and then Grandpa gets home. He's closed the game shop to watch the finals, and I only know that because I read original Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, a weird package came for Yugi. I'm gonna get it wrong every time I see it. Now I'm paranoid. Jonoichi asks
Just say
Yugi,
Joey.
Joey, thank you. Joey asks Yugi why he's not in the tournament, but he'd only enter if he could battle Kaiba, so not appearing in these chapters, as it seems he's in a coma at the hospital, a thing I didn't remember.
A thing that happened in the first series.
Correct.
He ran like an amusement park death game, and it ended with him in a coma.
Wonderful. Does this mean we can read Yu-Gi-Oh! Chapter 1 at some point in the future?
Oh, you must. It's amazing.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Chapter 2, Chapter 1, Episode 2. Then the tournament comes on TV, and the host with the silliest little face welcomes us. Did you two notice this face? He has no nose. He's got like a little like emoji face.
Oh, yeah.
And at first that's just how I thought he was drawn, but then he shows up at another panel with the same exact little face.
Kazuki Takahashi, I absolutely love him. Rest in peace. His art's fucking amazing.
Died?
He famously died saving people from a riptide.
Oh my goodness,
That
pour
was
one out.
only, what, 4 years ago or
I
something?
forgot about
And
that.
it's
I probably
slightly
even talked
longer,
about
I
that on
think.
the podcast at some point. Completely forgot about it.
He's a
real one.
a genuine hero, and also was
yeah.
like a massively outspoken leftist. Like he's a real one. Like,
And
yeah.
considering the way that other mangaka get taken out, I think that's a real
good way to go out.
accomplishment.
yeah,
But yeah, he had the little like it wasn't like bad art. It was just like tee.
he's very stylized.
These are our two finalists. Insector Haga is taking on Dinosaur Ryuzaki. They are both teenagers. Will Haga's smart combos beat Ryuzaki's overwhelming power? Yes, easily. How did this dinosaur guy get to the finals? He is so quickly and easily beaten in a way that shouldn't even be possible. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels. They are vibe-based more than rules-based. Then, the president of Industrial Illusions, creator of the card game, comes out. Maximilian J. Pegasus. Or Pegasus Crawford in Japanese, which I learned. I looked that up, like, is he literally Maximilian? It's like, he's not Maximilian. That is a I don't know if that's a dubism or just a localization thing in general, but I'm pretty sure I'm assuming the dub got here first, because that's how things kind of worked back then. To present the award and talks of another tournament his company is sponsoring. It's at this time Yugi opens his package. It's a strange glove with little stars and a videotape. I love that it's like 8mm videotape, and I'm like, what time is this? So specific. It's not a VHS.
It's Betamax.
It's not Betamax is big. It's tiny. It's very specifically tiny.
What? No, Betamax.
It's like a camcorder tape.
Oh, what am I thinking of? Am I thinking? I saw there's some VHS tape style thing where it's like even bigger than a VHS one. Like it's notably big. I'll figure it out later.
Thinking about
I'm sure I'm sure Technology Connections did it, or I'm remembering it from some old like Cinemasker era like YouTuber reviewer thingy. Not important. He pops in the tape and Pegasus appears on the screen. Hello, Yugi boy. I'm glad that was there. I'm sure that was in the original then. You never know what's a dubism or not. Despite being a video recording, he challenges Yugi to a game of duel monsters, a duel of game monsters. But what's more wild is that the recording seems to know every move Yugi is going to play. Also, like a card is sucked into the TV at some point. Yugi comments, this must be a shadow game. I don't know what a shadow game is. Also, at this point, Dark Yugi comes out of the Millennium Puzzle, but I only know that because I read the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And watched the anime. There's so much stuff like, if this is actually what America got as its chapter 1.
It's not Dark Yugi, that's the Pharaoh.
The Pharaoh. I know, Wikipedia calls him Dark Yugi. I don't
you
know
don't know he's the Pharaoh until much later.
Okay. Yes, correct. But also just like, there's just like a lot of like, but it's like, only if you have like the vague understanding of like, oh, his posture is different and he said, I'm playing you now. But otherwise it's like, if you didn't know.
He has a much more intense look on his face.
Exactly, but you never know. It could just be like, I'm serious now, and not like an Egyptian pharaoh has overtaken my spirit and body.
This looks like a job for me, Yugi.
Yes. Duel 2, don't draw that card. More vibes-based dueling occurs. It's like Yugi summons. I'm just gonna say this because it's funny to describe it like this. Yugi summons a bunch of dragons. Pegasus puts a card down that is like a jar that captures dragons, and then Yugi changes tactics. And then Pegasus draws a card that combos with the jar that's like a snake charmer that makes all the dragons fight for him. It's the most like silly vibes-based bullshit, and I kind of love it. Every time Yugi thinks he's found a way around Pegasus's tricks, the strange man is always one step ahead in ways that seems like Yugi doesn't seem to actually know how the game works. As Yugi's on the back step with his life points, Pegasus says that if Yugi loses, he must take part in this new tournament to crown the Duelist King. They'll be paid handsomely, and also there's another special thing that we learn about. He's like, oh, yes, there's a special thing. But he doesn't talk about it. But then Yugi refuses. Then Yugi is like, wait, how is Maximilian seeing my cards? Is he seeing through my sixth sense? What if he's controlling my sixth sense? Yugi's sense picks a skeleton card, which he plays face down where no one in the room could see. He asks everybody what they think via their sixth sense the card was, and Anzu and Grandpa say they saw a skeleton in their mind's eye. Joey's wrong because he's Joey's.
He said he's a warrior. I mean, it's a skeleton warrior.
I know, but he like pictures like a really he pictures a specific card
true.
that it's like not that, and it's very Joey coded. They saw a skeleton in their mind's eye. Certainly there must be some connection here. Pegasus also thinks that it's a skeleton and plays a counter card. But wait, Pegasus, I figured out your scheme. You're using subliminal messaging in the TV recording to shift my unconsciousness to pick certain cards. In fact, this isn't a skeleton at all, but the most powerful card, the Dark Magician. I love how silly anime bullshit that is so much. It's so wonderfully manga bullshit. As I punch my microphone. Duel 3, countdown. Looks like we're running out of tape, so Pegasus puts a timer on the screen. Whoever has less life points when it reaches 0 must play a penalty game. Yugi finally has Maximilian on the backstep, but then a bunch of vibes-based nonsense goes on. It's really funny because, like, this dude made the game. He can make whatever ridiculous broken card he wants. Also, it seems like Yugi is not plugged into the vibes. What did I mean by that? He's just, like, not aware. I don't know what I meant by he's not plugged into the vibes. Like, he's just not aware of, like, all these, like, and this mechanic, and, like, this one's electric, so it does more, like, he just doesn't seem to get it. But just as he's about to get it, the tables turn again, and the clock strikes 0. Penalty game! The TV flashes, and Grandpa goes into a coma. Pegasus reveals his Millennium Eye, which lets him scan the heart of his opponent. That's something special I mentioned from the tournament is freeing your grandpa's soul as grandpa's now stuck in the TV. End of chapter 3. There's so much stuff here that if this was the first chapter of story bit that you got in America, you'd be so fucking confused.
Yeah.
But it's the first time Duel Monsters happened, right? Because originally Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all like he loves games. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Became...
No, it's
Duel
not
Monsters.
the first time Duel Monsters happens.
Okay.
So chapters
Been a hot second.
9 to 10 of the original run is literally the Kaiba storyline that would have been episode 1 of the anime, but without all the special effects. It was like Kaiba had green hair. I think they literally called the card game like Magic and Monsters at that point. And I think it had another appearance as part of Kaiba's Death Game thing, maybe? But like that's where your whole, the free Blue Eyes Dragon thing comes up.
Yes.
But this is now the full pivot. This is I've got through my big Dungeons and Dragons game storyline that didn't really like capture much love. Let's go all in on the thing people are most obsessed with, which is the card game. Especially because they would have been, I think, in the process of making deals with Konami to actually make it real. So like this was the big hard turn to let's focus on this.
Yeah.
It's just wild to me that this thing that is the card game in the series of the show is just so like I said, vibes based, wishy washy, whatever fantasy bullshit. That it is a card game now that is like still incredibly popular and played all over the place, and is so. I mean, you have to make rules. Obviously, you can't just have a vibes based card game. People.
Oh, but it famously has some of the most impenetrable rules and mechanics of.
I'm sure, exactly. Like it's just funny. Like there's none of the other big card games are from a thing that is card games. I would say. I think I'm right about that.
No other
like
card
Magic
games
isn't
from
something.
Games.
Pokemon isn't like the Pokemon. There's like nobody's playing the Pokemon card game before the Pokemon card game happened. It was just a part of the media blitz. Other ones that I don't care about because I don't subscribe to Cardboard Crack. Because I have values and self-control. I'm being mean to a lot of people. I'm vaguely sorry, but also please keep your vices in check. I'm sure you could be doing heroin right now and it'd probably do better for you. Wow, that was brutal. I'm sorry.
The way they've turned, like blind bag card gaming was already gambling, but now it's like real bad.
Every new piece of information I learn about any collectible card game always seems like the absolute most toxic dregs of society.
And it's all just a lot of portions of it.
Now, anyway. But those guys on YouTube give away cards to little kids all the time, so that's nice.
Yeah, because they're probably doing card pools on YouTube, like on stream, and they just give all the crap ones to the kids and keep the ones they can sell for money.
No, some of them are pretty.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
At,
like, conventions and stuff.
But yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh is unique in that the card game was a plot point before becoming a real thing, which is definitely a rarity. Like, it wasn't a planned mixed media project, but it became the biggest mixed media project of all time.
Because a lot of the times it's like the other way around. Because like something we were going to cover in this arc was we were going to do Metabots, but there's it's Metabots is more of a television show or a game first, and then there are manga. But then there's the anime, and there might be a manga that's kind of related to the anime, but like we don't have all the manga. Searching for it is weirdly difficult, and even if I could find it, A, it's either not localized, or B, it doesn't really have anything to do with the anime that we would have been watching, so it was just like, I'm calling it off. We'll do something.
Well, Viz did the Metabots manga that would have been relevant for the time, and it wasn't accurate enough, because again, it was a mixed media project. One did not inspire the other.
Yes. Our I guess the episode that we haven't recorded yet that y'all listened to probably last week, I also think is going to be, from the little thing I poked in, is that Digimon, the anime happened first, and then the manga happened about that.
Well,
but I don't care. I want to watch Digimon episode 1 for the first time in like 2 decades.
I feel saying before, the licensed comic for Digimon that Tokyo Pop would have put out was a Chinese comic, a manhua. And there is no manga adaptation of Digimon Adventure. It's not a thing. They would have been Digimon V-Tamer at the time in V-Jump, which was like a kid who looked kind of like Taichi going around with an ex-Vmon or equivalent, and like it's a Vidramon perhaps. Completely removed from it all. It's insanity. But that's kind of interesting, because then what you get to say to yourself is like, sure, it's not one-to-one, but at least you get to talk about two different angles on the same multimedia franchise.
Yeah. Brad, do you have any past history with Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. So I actually watched the Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
Wow.
Like, not to the point where I'm, all that attached to it or anything, but like I've seen plenty of episodes. I don't really have anything to say about it though, because it was really just like, oh, there's a cartoon. They're doing stuff with the cards. I think I always had this vague sense of like, this is pretty ridiculous. And, the actual battles are like nonsense basically.
Yeah, I kind of knew that as a kid, but reading it now and just so out of the gate where it's just like, this is nonsense.
The only reason that Yugi lost that first game against Pegasus is because he didn't use Little Karibo.
But
there is no card called Little Karibo. That's
just Karibo.
Whatever.
The man's name is Little Karibo. Yeah, also it's like the Spectre, even though I haven't watched any of it in years, like the Spectre of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, I mean, I guess I referenced Brooklyn Rage at the start, but it's like, that's floating around in my mind. But it's like, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Growing up. I know I had the cards. I'm sure I played at some point.
I definitely never played.
Yeah. But it doesn't help that this first chapter was not a first chapter, so there's like, this is like, hi guys, this is a nostalgia trip. Like this whole arc has just been a weird mess. Like
I hope they figured that out by
it's
now.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm sure you saw it or maybe grew up with it or know about it. It refuses to die. I feel like a lot of I guess some of the things, only two of them, this and Digimon are continuing media franchises are going to now. Metabots is, but we didn't cover it. Ultimate Muscle is kind of a dead branch. Because, B, didn't you tell me Ultimate Muscle's been uncanonized because they just started making more Kinnikuman?
They did a time travel storyline, that the ending of which set it up for more Kinnikuman, which then resumed from its old volume numbering. But you can, in that respect, go and say that the franchise continues, because that is now a relatively well-performing Netflix anime.
They did do like a year or two ago, they did do another Kinnikuman.
Oh, not even a year or two ago. It's still going.
Oh, good for it. I don't think anybody's making any more Tokyo Mew Mew. I think that was a very here and gone.
No, that was revived at some point recently. Bear with me.
Oh my god.
There was Tokyo Mew Mew. There was Tokyo Mew Mew a la mode, which seemingly just was like the author took a 6-month break and then just came back and wrote more of it. But we didn't look at that part. But that was like the vibe. I'm like, it's not a sequel series if the artist just picked it back up 6 months later. That's
Tokyo Mew Mew came back in 2019 as Tokyo Mew Mew Olay for about 3 years.
Olay?
Yeah, and it had a new anime, Tokyo Mew Mew New, that was in 2022 to 2023, 24-episode series.
What the hell?
Why? Weird.
Nothing ever truly dies, because the generation that grew up with these heavily marketed shows are the people that go and refuse to move forward with their lives and just want to repeat the past over and over.
Then
and so
why did some nerd not freaking fan translate Fighting Foodons so we could have covered Fighting Foodons? That's what this whole arc was supposed to be about. I like that this is mostly just because it's like, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a weird first chapter. I'm colored by nostalgia. I'm so curious how I'd feel about these card games if I did not have nostalgia with them, because when I think about them, my thought in my head was like, if I actually read this as a first chapter, I would have said this was like dog shit. Because the card games, it has no stakes because there's no order.
I don't know.
It's a pretend order.
I think dog shit is too strong. But definitely like...
It would not have inspired confidence.
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't want to go...
As chapters 60 to 62 of the series go...
exactly. Like, that's my problem. This isn't chapter 1.
It's probably a really good start to a new arc.
I'm already inoculated to the bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's like, so, like, I just was like, I think my big takeaway from these 3 chapters, which like collectively made a first chapter amount of page counts, was just how silly. Because the joke is always, remember, it's like, oh, I put my flying knight on the fucking artillery piece and I launched it over your wall or whatever the fuck. But it was just like, I didn't remember or know how goofy it was right out of the gate, I guess, is my main thing.
I think my big takeaway for these first 3 chapters is how relevant it is Maximilian Pegasus wants all these young boys to come to his island.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I need to check that. I don't remember if I said that on or did I say that where I'm like somebody on a stream I was watching, unrelated to everything, just today was like Maximilian Pegasus is like 25, and I'm like, I need to confirm this right now. Because if that's the case, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, he's just got grey hair because of massive trauma.
He goes up to the kid who won the first tournament, and he was like, "You must come to my island."
I know. It's like that's what I'm like. 'Cause it's like it's when you're a kid, characters seem older, but it's like I don't remember the bug guy, the dinosaur guy being teenagers. They seem like young adults, and it's like they specifically tell you it's like he's 14 and he's 15. You're just like, oh.
But again, a bridge has ruined me because I can only imagine him as fucking Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't remember that's how they did that.
The bug guy is the one who throws Exodia over the side of the boat.
Yeah.
Exodia, sir, not appearing in this episode, who I really thought was going to be there at the beginning. I guess he's in the first episode, but he's not. I'm sure he showed up back then.
He was literally part of the first
Kaiba.
ever card arc of the series. Was like that was the gimmick, and so they had to remove him because, as it turns out, a card draw win condition isn't very exciting, and also would be broke.
Correct.
But the heart of the cards.
Maximilian Pegasus is 24.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
I mean, how old
is Grandpa in his late 30s?
How old do you think Bandit Keith is?
No,
Oh, I need this information right in my.
You know what I was
now.
thinking?
Is Bandit Keith older than Maximilian Pegasus?
As soon as we saw Grandpa when they got to the shop and he was closing up, I was like, "Oh my god, Grandpa is a former Shonen protagonist. He's got the hair."
Well, and you do eventually in the series get to see when he was younger, and he just looks like a fucking debonair, suit-wearing, scarf-wearing, like, adventurer. He's like a Japanese Indiana Jones, almost.
I love this. I love that.
I mean, that makes sense with all the Egyptian stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I was just like,
Bandito Kisu.
That's crazy. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the next generation of shonen protagonist in this family.
In Japanese, his full name is Keith Howard. Like Geese Howard? He's 26. He's older than Pegasus.
There you go. And still younger than I thought it'd be. But this is the thing, it's a series aimed at the younger end of the Shonen Jump demographic as well. It's for the young kiddies.
Exactly, so that's why they're teenagers, because it's like, this could be you in this tournament, not knowing how the game works that you beat 200 other duelists to get to.
It's marketing genius on the level unmatched by anything outside of, like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Like, it knew exactly how to get people into its thing.
But I think you talked about this earlier, and it's like the rarity of this, because there are times when there's the media blitz of, like, we made a game, like what's that Pokemon, but it's Ghosts? Yokai Watch?
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is a concerted, here's the video game, here's the anime, here's the whatever, here's the others, here's the toy you can buy.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Yokai Watch is?
No.
That was like a decade ago. You missed that train.
What about Legends, the monthly Shonen Jump series that was a mixed media project where it was like Tamagotchi toys that you could fight against each other like wands that never...
It's the idea that because those are always like, there's a certain amount of corporate soullessness when those hit, because usually it's a blitz and it's planned. And this was one where it's like, this man was writing this and this is what he wanted to write. And then it just so happened to become, they were like, wait a minute, we can make money out of this. Like it's usually just, hey, we should make this, it makes money. And not like I would be curious if there's other stuff like this. And I think that's what leads to Yu-Gi-Oh's unique qualities. Is that it's so connected to a game, but it wasn't made for the game. Even before it gets to Duel Monsters, it especially wasn't. But even when it gets to Duel Monsters, it's still like, he's not going, oh yeah, we're going to have a collectible card game that they're going to sell and I'm going to make all this money. It's like, it was just the thing that was popular and he wanted to write it because he liked games and he liked Dungeons and Dragons.
I think he's talked about like the intensity with which he had to like file the serial numbers off of Magic the Gathering. Because that's what it was supposed to be. It was a little tribute arc to Magic the Gathering. Just like it had the D&D arc. Just like it had, I guess, the loving tribute to stabbing a knife through the back of your hand to get money. Like, everything's like a tribute to something. And then he went, oh no, this is its own thing now.
But just like, I don't know, is there anything else like that in all of media where it's just like somebody already wanted to do this and then it was like, wait a minute, we can commodify this. So, in something that is normally so created to be commodified?
I think that's really the thing, is that there at some point whether it was him or an editor or someone reading it, they went, wait a minute. No, we could make this for real and make a shitload of money.
And they did, and they continue to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess initially Pokemon was only being developed as a video game. But like when the next closest thing you can compare it to is the biggest like Japanese multimedia franchise, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember this would fit in this arc tonally, like vibes based. This would fit in the arc, but it doesn't fit in the arc by how I described the arc. But all I can think of with Duel Monsters is a show and a card game that I did play when I was a teenager called Duel Masters.
Yes, which was explicitly named because that's what, Duel Monsters is what they called Yu-Gi-Oh! in the thing, and they went, oh, we can take that name.
Correct. And the main thing I remember, and I'd be very curious, I would do like a one-off akin to what we're doing here, where it's like we read the manga, and then we watched the English dub episode, and then we watched the Japanese sub episode, which we're not doing this time.
And then you should play around with the card game.
I'd be very curious. I don't think I have my cards anymore, but maybe I'll check some weird old box and find them. I honestly really loved Duel Masters. But the thing that I remember the most, outside of like actually genuinely enjoying the game and like playing like the Game Boy one or something, is that the dub was very similar to like the 4Kids dub, where they're just like, are you guys making it goofier than it actually is? Because there's like a lot of wordplay and bits and back and forth that as a kid I remember really enjoying. So that might be a future one-off vacation episode between something else that I don't know where else to put it. So... Oh no, we put that in the games people play arc with what is it? Bakugan and Beyblade and a fourth thing. Metabots again. What?
Monster Rancher. I don't think Monster Rancher has a manga. It does have an anime and a game. So
and the anime was Hasbro for Duel Masters.
Something to cook on for later. Okay, then that explains why maybe it was made more specifically for a Western audience. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know what to. I don't like. We're waiting to just get to the episode then. But like, I don't know. Like, what other thoughts do you have in your head? Both
I was just
B and Brad
thinking. Like when I was younger, I got some Pokemon cards. My friend and I, without reading any instructions, attempted to play it. That went very poorly. Okay. But then it was mostly just like, I'm collecting these cards. That didn't last a very long time, but then I got into Star Wars cards. Because I was really into Star Wars when I was a kid. And that was completely just collecting. I had so many of those cards, I never once attempted to play it.
Was it a trading card game, or was it just a collectible card game?
It's a trading card game.
Okay.
It looks very similar to Magic, where it's like, here's a card, and you have to pay this cost to play it, and it's got flavor text and stuff on it. But like, I just... like Star Wars, I like reading the cards and everything. And it wasn't until I think I was in my 20s when I played Magic the Gathering. And I did play that. And it wasn't until like the 5th or 6th time I played it that me and my friend discovered that we were not playing it correctly at all.
Classic. That's a very like growing up friend thing of like, oh, wait a minute, we missed this rule that kind of makes the whole engine go. B, did you have a weird obscure card game that you played growing up, or you just remember like collecting from or just seeing at the shop?
Oh wait, hold on. No, I've got a relatively good one actually, because I was massively into the Pokemon card game. I was massively into the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. A big fan of the animes both. But the card game I was really into that nobody else played, and you couldn't get booster packs for, so I basically just had the starter deck, and that was it, was the Digimon card game, which is how I learned about Hercules Kabuterimon, the final form for Tentomon. And I can still picture that big golden bug and his massively overpowered card when I close my eyes. Like, it felt amazing, and because I couldn't play it, it felt even better, because like there was
no aura about it. It could never be defeated. It was just like, oh man, it would be really cool if I could play this, and that just builds every time you look at them as a child.
And so it mostly became a way of just doing imagination play. I'd like the cards would be the characters, and I'd imagine them going through storylines, putting them out and stuff. Like, oh
my gosh, you're hitting me with like a weird amount of specific nostalgia. I got all sorts of different weird card games when I was growing up. One that comes to mind of another anime one was that I, again, never got to play it because I never had enough cards and nobody else in the area ever had them, was Zatch Bell. trading cards.
There was a trading card
It's a
game
very
for that?
American one, Zatch Bell. Like, it had no crossover here.
Interesting. But the main gimmick I remember is that when you got a deck, you got a little, like, a tiny card-sized binder that you would put your spells into. No idea how it worked. Just was very charmed by that and would constantly reshuffle my...
Did you get to have, like, a small puppet of a child while you played?
No. Well, am I the I don't remember what they're called. No, I'm the child. Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay, I'm in real time figuring out that I'm stupid.
You're the child wielding the puppet in the card game, I suppose.
Yes, I'm the teenager, adult, child, whatever, wielding the... What were they called? They had a name. Something Momodos or something? I don't know. Whatever. Not important. But no, I have all sorts of, like, I have a big deck of cards that I had from a bunch when I was growing up, and they're mostly Pokemon, but there's some other odds and ends, but I just loved collecting cards when I was a kid. Listener, tell us in the Discord of other card games that you remember that were obscure, that you, like, vaguely remember that aren't around anymore, or that you had and always wanted to play and never did, but were, like, super jazzed about.
Tell us what Pokemon cards you wish that you had sealed in Mylar as a child so you could be rich.
Yes. Or what was your favorite one? Because I know when I was a kid, I really loved Oddish. We collected a lot of Oddish cards. We loved buying the knockoff or the Japanese ones from the faraway flea market that we would go to.
Oh, I love the Hitmonchan that came with the Theme Deck Haymaker.
That's
it wasn't particularly good, but Hitmonchan just looked cool and had a
shiny one.
Yeah.
I can close my eyes. I love that this is just... I mean, was like... I don't know what to tell you about Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. But I
enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but when I think back on them, my main annoyance was that they were smaller, so, like, I couldn't get the right sleeves. Oh, they're the smallest cards, because they were for the youngest players.
I'm going to have to go get the Yu-Gi-Oh, my card binder, and see if that's true. But also, I think the only Yu-Gi-Oh cards I have are ones that came in the back of the American Shonen Jump that I got, and I just kept them because they were shiny and covered in stars, and I'm like, I'm sure this is important.
The only people who were upset when the print Shonen Jump finally died were the people who were like, what about my Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Interesting. I just have one random thought that is vaguely related, but also not related at all, because I just was like, I think seeing them at the bookstore made me go, man, if Disney's Lorcana came out like a decade ago when I was in my Disney phase, I would have been fucked.
Oh, the art looks gorgeous. I would
have been so about all of them.
Yeah.
I'd love to look at them at some point, but it's like that was before, like, I was still in my Disney mania, my hyperfixation, and I don't think I had, like, fully gone, like, I'm not fucking with card games ever again. You people have brain worms. And I'm like, I would have been done for. I would have been so done for. So I'm very glad I live in the timeline where that did not do me in. Do we want to put any parting words before we take our little break and watch the second episode of the anime? How do we? I don't even want to do thinky thinks and feely feels. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I love it. I love reliving this series.
We can get into that after the episode, because I don't think this is a case of where we need to, like, set our expectations or anything.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be set expectation for the anime. Like, this is, I think, more than any of them, just because it's like, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And also just, like, even compared to the other ones that we are putting our boat in at, for our purposes, for the purposes of the show directly, terrible, but for the purposes of what this arc's point is, finally perfect.
Yeah.
Because what we read will be what we see, thankfully. So yeah, catch y'all guys on the flip-flop. B, do you want to make a noise that you'll make then again when we come back in, that we can, like, cut to it in the vein of, like, the ba-da-ba from Reading Rainbow? I don't even know if you had Reading Rainbow, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh. You know,
We're back. We watched the episode, which was oddly on YouTube, but not Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has the subtitled version, but we wanted the dub from 4Kids for maximum the point of this arc.
Because the subtitle version is probably exactly what aired on Japanese TV.
Correct. I don't think. Well, what we're continuing this weird trend where the first episode is different.
Yeah.
In certain ways, but not enough to be, like, super interesting, but not in a way that it seemed like 4Kids edited it.
I think in this case, it was for a good reason, because there's stuff that happens in the first series that you sort of need that information.
Well, we also skipped the first episode, but also there is information that the author didn't write until later of like the Egyptian puzzle items, and then it's like Pegasus talks about that in the duel.
Yeah, because this aired almost 2 years after the chapters we've read come out, so they had all the additional context. The big fucking Duelist machines for the card game tournament.
Yeah, those do come later. They weren't in the manga.
They got to be pulled in now. They were also pulled into the premiere episode with the fight with Kaiba, which was originally just done at a little fucking table. So like, there's a lot of stuff that's changed on that level, and most of it is the Egyptian context.
Wait! You're telling
they've gone straight away. Like, they've removed practical tricks. There's none of the subliminal trickery. It's
so
just
mad
straight
about
to Egyptian artifacts, because that, by the time Battle City had come around in the comics around at this point,
oh my goodness,
like, it's all Egyptian artifacts all the time.
So in the original, in the manga, Kaiba didn't get Kamehameha'd by Exodia.
Oh, he did, but like at a much smaller scale, because it became a shadow game, so they came out the cards. And that's what gave him the idea to make holograms.
His mind got fractured into pieces of light, and that's why he made a thing that refracts light to make holograms.
And then his hair went brown.
Yes. No, I really thought nostalgia was going to pull me through this one, but it was kind of a flat. I mean, when you're older and you know better, and especially having the manga, it's like when you're reading a big description of what a card does in manga and it's only one panel, that feels a lot better than a voice has to monologue over like, and we're panning across their faces and we're looking at the battlefield, and just like, there's just so much time spent yammering and staring at nothing. We're in a book that just makes sense. It's why the arc that will never be finished in Hunter x Hunter now will be animatable, because there's entire like mini novelettes on pages describing mechanics and people's thought processes. It's like, you can't put all that information in here in a way that will be at all consumable. Like, it's supposed to be consumed as a book. This is practically a novel. It's barely a comic anymore. And this one isn't as bad as that. I always go to that as like my extreme example of it, but it just feels like so much is just, I'm thinking and we're panning over things, and I'm thinking and I'm talking and we're panning over things. Because they definitely like shortened it. There's like a lot of little mini steps in the middle, which admittedly I also glossed over in the summary because they weren't important. But what, like the biggest things that are to me, it's like Joey asked the grandpa to train him, and he trains him really hard, and then he falls asleep. And that the fact that the battle through the TV instantly puts everybody else into like a stasis state.
Yeah.
Which I just think is so much less interesting, because it's like his family being there, and it's like this constant going, is he battling a recording of the television, or is this like somehow through magic like now? And it kind of gets rid of that. It's like, no, we're in the kind of shadow realm right from the jump.
Yeah,
there's no like weird mystery here, and your friends aren't here.
Yeah, the whole thing in the manga where it was like, oh, they're doing something plausible. It does end up being magic, but also there's a plausible way to do this.
Yeah,
was like a really good setup for the whole thing, and they just threw that out entirely, and they're just like, no, the whole thing's magic from the start.
Yeah,
and then there's no way really for Yu-Gi-Oh to get around it. Like, he does sort of, but then Pegasus is like, no, I still know what's going on.
But because there's the thing of like the whole subliminal thing is that it's not the subliminal on the TV. The eye, Pegasus and Millennium Eye is just beaming it into Yugi's brain, and they don't really spend the time too much to like go over that. And then it's not like he can like check it against, like, because that's the idea that it's like his sixth sense, not just, oh, I'm choosing something else.
Right.
Because his friends, he can't talk to his friends because they're in the weird stasis zone. So he just does the gum I don't know, and he just instantly plays this top card on his deck out. Which couldn't be legal because, I mean, I guess we're in Vibes Yu-Gi-Oh zone where you can just play whatever card you want whenever you want. There's no sacrifices, but it's like, what if it was a spell that he played in his monster field? How do we deal? Like, and also, like, duh. But, like, it just feels so much less, even if it was silly anime bullshit, it's so much less interesting, and it makes Yugi so much less clever for figuring it out. Because he's just like, well, you can read my mind. I'll make sure whatever the card is isn't in my mind at all. And it's like him seeing through it is so much more
that reminds
cool.
Me, in the anime, I don't think there's any time where they aren't just playing a thing whenever they want.
Oh yeah, turns don't seem to exist.
There's no turns. There's no I don't even know how Yu-Gi-Oh actually works as a card game, but there's no like mana to spend or energy that gets spent or anything.
If memory serves, you're supposed to sacrifice other monsters to summon higher level monsters. Like I have burned in my brain somewhere that like the Dark Magician is like you have to sacrifice 2 monsters to summon it. And that's why like a lot of the times when that tournament fight is happening with the bug guy and the dinosaur guy's like, I instantly summon my strongest card, and it's like you can't do that turn 1.
How do you get a lower level monster?
But that's why
you have them in your hand and you play them.
Shit as well, though. It's only got 1700 strength, so it probably is something you could summon.
1700 I thought was pretty big.
It would be big for one without sacrifices. Maybe it would be like a 1 sacrifice.
Okay, I always thought like north of 1,500 on attack or defense was usually stuff that needed.
As to when turns matter, funnily enough, the final boss fight with Pegasus, the entire conceit is the way he works out how to work around Pegasus's eye is they change personalities at the start of each turn, so that neither one knows what the other one's done, and they just have to trust each other.
I remember that.
So you do get ones where turns matter, but it does not come up often.
That's what I'm saying. We're in early Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's vibes based, and especially with the anime, where I feel like they're trying to, especially this duel, get through it because it's like, so.
I want to say turns start mattering sort of midway through Duelist Kingdom when like Swords of Revealing Light keeps being used as a delay tactic.
Forgot about that. Oh my gosh, man. But no, like altogether, like, and I don't know how much of it's soured of like you took things out from the manga that I liked. Like Ultimate Muscle, like remixed it, and Tokyo Mew Mew made it palatable. God, that first chapter was a mess structurally. But like, I don't know. I really thought I was going to be like, I was going into this going, this is going to bite me with a nostalgia bug. I'm going to want to watch more of this. And I was very let down by it. I think like, honestly, I think the first one we did with Ultimate Muscle was like, because that was one it's like, I'd watch more Ultimate Muscle. That feels like a really fun toss on in the background. Or we're just kind of hanging out, shooting the shit. Let's put that on. Like it was, maybe it's just because it lends itself to being sillier, and that lends itself more to 4Kids' strengths.
Yeah,
and also
I think it's probably one of like the 2 best 4Kids dubs. It's like that and Kirby.
What, Yu-Gi-Oh? Or
no, Ultimate Muscle, like because they're both the sillier shows, so I think it worked really well.
I think it plays into it because it's like maybe this is like, this was the nostalgia that brought me back to this, because it's like now that we live in an era where like localizations are more faithful, quote unquote. I'm getting into dangerous territory saying stuff like that with a bunch of idiots online.
But like, there's literally less censorship.
We can't like another One Piece 4Kid situation can't happen.
Yeah.
And hasn't happened in over a decade.
We should be very clear though, because a lot of the stuff that was changed is not a 4Kids specific thing. The whole thing with it being a shadow game the whole time, like that happened in the original Japanese.
But the fun thing about the Yu-Gi-Oh! English dub is that usually a lot of the card games they happen, it's the Shadow Realm is a dubism. When I learned that when I was older, that broke my brain. Is that literally usually just people are dying from a card game, and the Shadow Realm was both, I think, so much more interesting to like already we're doing the Shadow game, and it's so much more terrifying. It's like you're not just dead; your soul is just stuck into a nothing dimension forever. And
they remove all the guns as well, don't they? You get later episodes where they're pointing fingers instead of
they have guns in Yu-Gi-Oh! I've clearly forgotten about this.
Yeah.
But like that's one of the more famous examples of it.
I think of that when I think of all the One Piece ones.
Dubism in here, though.
What?
There is a pretty obvious dubism in here, which is Joey being asleep. He's clearly not asleep. He's clearly overconfident, like, yeah.
Yeah, what was that? I was like super confused because I'm like, my sixth sense is telling me like this is something else that the dub is plastering over, but I couldn't figure out what it, like why they would change it and what it was.
I think it's literally him like trying to be overconfident with swagger, like closing his eyes and be like, yeah. And then like he's being reminded at how dog shit he did in training.
That sounds like a very reasonable, funny bit to do, and not that he's asleep. Like, very strange.
It's very weird. It's very Samurai Pizza Cats. Like, it's just a complete change to, I guess, work around a cultural thing.
See, that's the weird thing. Brad, you go, and then I'll get it.
I didn't feel like the sleeping thing was a big deal.
No, it was just like, it was like, it stuck out because I'm like, something is telling me this isn't actually what's happening, because he doesn't look like he's asleep. He just looks like he's closing his eyes.
I think that was part of the joke they were going for. Is that like he's fallen asleep sitting up? He's so tired.
I guess.
But it's like with Digimon, is sometimes it's just they get to the point quicker than they meant to and they have to fill time. Which is why like Digimon has a joke every other line, is because they're having to pad
for Digimon. Folks, you've already heard Digimon, but we haven't yet. But no, it's that because that's the thing. It's like I can come back to these with nostalgia and enjoy their like goofiness because this doesn't happen anymore. A beloved manga series can no longer become unrecognizable from what it is. Maybe that's a harsher way to put it. But because I miss when it's just like dudes just fucking around in the booth. Like fucking Brooklyn Joey is my favorite. He's my favorite part of this because it's like, again, they don't do that anymore. Nobody does that anymore. Where it's like, I'm going to pick a silly accent or I'm going to badly do an impression of a celebrity because I feel like it and it kind of fits. Like things are so much more. And it's like, it's probably, it's any kind of time something gets more structured. It's like, you'll get more of what you're asking for, but those weird moments, like the kind of more, I don't want to say joy, that's not the right word, but like these weird little magic things don't happen because of that.
Speaking of interesting voice acting choices, I don't think I really ever understood why in the abridged Yu-Gi-Oh! Tristan sounded so weird and different, and I get it now.
Because isn't he Barney kind of?
He's Barney the dinosaur. That's the whole gag.
He kind of sounded like second Joey. I mean, he only said one line in this episode, really.
It was so bad.
It wasn't great.
It was like, what are you doing?
I think the whole reason for the Barney voice in the abridged is just because there's nothing to him.
Yeah, he's just because you already have Joey, and you already have the girl, and you already have what's the one with gray hair?
That's a change as well. Like the duel the Joey has is now against Taya. And
it was.
It establishes that she has card skills, so that
that's what it was in the manga.
But she's like barely a person.
It was just some different girl in the
No, it was Taya. I wrote it down. That's when I did my name joke. But it's Anzu. They say Anzu, which is Taya.
But they don't give her like any personality or anything there.
No. She has cards. She has cards, but she's not like present.
So you can remember that she has cards for later now, so that when she has that one duel at the end of Duelist Kingdom, it's not weird.
But yeah, I don't know. Like we've technically finished this arc, and the thing I learned from the arc is that this was a mess. Is that a lot of these things they brought over were only brought over from this, and not like they were media blitzes because that Pokemon was big. So that's what we were doing. That's why we didn't do it, but like fighting Foodons. It's like, oh, One Piece is popular. Bring, Kids Love Pirates. It's like, I'm sure if we like someday we'll watch that. Someday we will cover One Piece. If I didn't have plans for One Piece Chapter 1, we'd do something with it. But
this is definitely from that time where TV executives were like, we just need something bright and colorful to keep kids' attention.
But these are things that are popular because we're selling these toys, we're selling these cards. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime came out while the cards were getting sold. The Pokemon anime was coming out while the video game was out, and the cards were coming out. Like it was the big media sell stuff blitz.
Yeah, it's all post-Reagan shit.
It's like Metabots is that there was cards that went with it. I don't know.
There were toys.
And toys. I don't remember if we got the original Kinnikuman Musclemen toys or not. I think we did. Yeah, I know I bought a bunch from eBay when I was a teenager.
Yeah, millions of ultra small creatures lurking everywhere. They predated Ultimate Muscle by about a decade.
Yeah,
like
so I guess that was kind of
so
that was kind of disconnected. Like it's interesting they like picked that one. Like again, I would love to be able to talk to a human or the humans who decided this one, not this one.
With Ultimate Muscle, it's very straightforward. We're talking the end of the Attitude Era. Like, wrestling was money, and this was the one wrestling anime that was coming out.
I moved my tablet away, so I can't see it.
I don't need you anymore.
I need you. Because I'm pretty sure Ultimate Muscle was the early to mid-2000s, right? Wrestling is fucking dead then.
No, that's like start of Ruthless Aggression. Like, it's not completely gone at that point.
It's not doing great. It's not as big. It's not the Attitude Era anymore, and it's not the NWO.
No, but they're behind the times. They're scrabbling for it.
True.
And by the time it's actually out,
not
it's
wrong.
Like...
I mean, I was into wrestling, and that's what got me into Ultimate Muscles again. My dad got me into pro wrestling, so.
But I think, another part of this is that, like, this was a time where the internet was all but non-existent.
Wrong.
And What do you mean?
I was on the internet this time, and this is how I learned about like weird stuff that was coming down the pike that I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is.
But it wasn't a time where literally everybody had the internet.
Oh, yeah, that we could all be collectively...
Yeah.
We hadn't all known to collectively...
And so you had such a smaller pool of people...
This wasn't what we were supposed to be getting.
Who could actually figure out what the original thing was.
Yeah.
And so if you brought the thing over, you'd obviously Americanize it and change things and all that because... You don't have to worry about the nerds.
You're in the dial-up era still. So Ultimate Muscle, by the way, late 2002.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think, especially today, but even like 10 years ago, we got to the era of everybody who likes this stuff is talking about it online. And so you have to bring over what it actually is, or all of those people will hate you and not watch it.
I think all of this leads into that bigger conversation of what is localization?
Yeah.
And what is quote unquote good localization and what does it mean to localize something?
Always comes back to that.
It does, honestly. I feel like that's what this whole podcast, show is collectively, this network or whatever. The only
way you cannot care about localization is if you are a B or a Ben and you're like actually reading the original thing.
Oh, even
all of the rest of us. What?
Even if I'm reading the original thing, if it's then getting brought over in English, I want to see what they changed. That's what's interesting about localization.
No, but I mean, like as a general, you're just consuming the thing. Like if you don't have the language skills, you have to rely on the localizer.
Yeah.
So you want that to be correct.
I mean, this always comes back to is a more faithful adaptation of a joke that can't be literally translated is just you kind of you try to work, like, do you work your way around the joke? Do you just do you directly translate it and then put a little note that says it's funny because this, or do you just make a new joke entirely that is funny? Is that truer to the source material if you make a thing that makes you laugh because the original is supposed to make you laugh, but wordplay is exceptionally hard to translate and localize because language is not one-to-one across every language.
Do you change the name of the book that magically changes to the name of the kid that it was originally written for?
Yeah, fairy tale.
The tragic problem is, of course, with all localization, even with these sort of egregious, like, nationalizations, is that the word correct can't be applied to fucking anything.
Exactly. It's an art. And it comes down to what is your audience and what is your aim and how much of, like recently for Kinacho's Magic, we had Setai Magic. Well, recently to us, not to you. And it's like they chose to not localize that. And I think that was an interesting, and I think, it was a cool choice. But it's like, I don't know. It's fascinating by it. I am a boomer and nostalgic for when they localize names because by and large, I'm really bad at remembering Japanese names. But I can remember English names a lot better. I don't remember that little bean kid's name from Shaman King, but I remember that he was Mortimer. And that's just because I fucking grew up speaking English. And I speak English and it's my one language. So it just sticks in my brain more. And it's like, I miss that, but I understand why it doesn't happen. We also live in an infinitely more globalized world, so it's like you need the name. Because we're still living, one that I always think about is that the names when they got, I don't know if it was localized, if it was on purpose, or they got shuffled, but like in Street Fighter, what is it? It's M. Bison, Balrog, and who's the third one? There's like a third one in
Vega.
there. Is it Vega?
Yes.
All of their names are shuffled.
To avoid legal trouble is the answer.
Was it legal trouble? Okay, I just thought it was
M. Bison was Mike Tyson.
So like M. Bison, the dictator, is in Japan is the name for the boxer guy, and I think he's named. Or no, wait, is he named Vega, and then Vega is named Balrog?
Well, Balrog was Vega, and M. Bison was
Vega. Then right?
Yeah, I think so.
It would have to be from that thing. So that's why it's like they're just called the general, from what I've heard, the general like fighting game community, because the fighting game community is a globalized community, is, what is it? It's like Masked, Dictator, and Boxer. But it's just like these weird things that are still present from, this was a property from the before times. So even now when it's localized in English, it's like the Dictator guy, he's got to be called M. Bison or everybody would be really confused everywhere else.
Yeah.
But now it's like, if it wasn't consistent, if it's like, oh, America has these names and Mexico has these names and Brazil has these names, but we're all getting on the same internet and talking the same spots about it, it just becomes a cluster. So there's no.
Right, it's still present to this day with Case Closed, Detective Conan. The entire different series name, Jimmy Kudo versus Shinichi.
Grandfathered in. Zolo is still Zolo in certain. I don't know if it's in the anime or the manga still. But like, it's like, does it need to be there probably now? No, but like, it's a thing. Things like the only times we really get that is when their things are grandfathered in from if they were around from the times and big enough.
Oh, no one will ever let go of Zolo though. They're all so fucking petty about going, oh, it's Zorro. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
It shows your age and mine too. Just to be clear, this was the royal yore of an age, because I will do that sometimes and I'll catch myself. I'm like, oh, sorry, Andy Boomer, sorry. But no, I guess like I said, this whole arc, which I didn't want it to be a shit show, but it kind of was in execution, even though I think we got some good stuff, was, I guess, me looking back on my nostalgia and what I thought about it, and I think, I mean, you can't do this anymore. I guess what I want now is that these exist and that somebody makes. And as I say this out loud, it's already exists. It's a bridge series, but I want an official, essentially a bridge series where somebody else takes a crack at it, but approaches a series like the Bobobo series or Samurai Pizza Cats, or not as fucking juvenile, but ghost stories. Like, I just want an actual studio to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
just to creatively lift something up into a different world. Like, Bobobo is the perfect dub to this day.
But no, but just like I think some of that I love is that I'm such a sucker for seeing something repurposed into something else. And I think that's why so much of early kind of editing, that whole thing we said with like Joey sleeping, it's like, what was this originally and what did you use these frames of animation to tell me something different? Or like, oh, how did you get around this visual joke that you can't localize, you can't translate? What other silly thing did you make up? And like, that's what I want more of. I don't necessarily want an abridged thing where it's like, this is a slightly more condensed, sillier version of what the actual story is. I want you to make something completely different out of this.
You want to see ingenuity.
Yes, I'm remembering now. There was a YouTube series back when I was in my My Little Pony phase that was called Friendship is Witchcraft, that essentially did that. And they had some more editing as they made more episodes, but they would just use the animation from the episodes and just completely change the context and what was going on and the continuity of things. Or like a character there's like a part where like a character like slides into a scene, I think just because it's like, oh, they're in a rush. And in the way they edit it, she just goes, look how far I can slide. And it's like, I love bullshit like that. And a lot of these old dubs are full of that bullshit. And maybe that's what I just want. Like, keep the real ones, keep doing those. Give some money, somebody at like the American Jump office. You know, give what's his name? The guy who made Anime Crimes Division, the main guy that we think about. Who's got the YouTube. Yeah. What's his tag?
I don't think he wrote it though.
No, but like Pro ZD. My brain's like Eddie Wong. I'm like, that's somebody else. I guess Eddie Wong was also part of it now that I think about it.
Eddie Wong is
special effects guy, right?
That's his brother.
Oh. Who's Eddie Wong then? Why did my brain say Eddie Wong?
That's his brother.
Oh. What does he do?
You're thinking of
something.
Freddie?
That sounds right. Freddie and Eddie.
Is it Freddie and Eddie?
I don't know.
Oh.
There's also Justin Wong who's into fighting games. I digress. But like, I just want. And maybe that's like a legal minefield, or maybe there's not a market for it.
No,
but
it could never. That could never happen.
If Jump
as
already,
much as I wanted to, I agree.
Jump already owns those. Like, why can't they? Like, in the vein of like old like Adult Swim that like chopped up Hanna-Barbera, and that's how we got stuff like Harvey Birdman and Space Ghost. Like, I think I miss those. Or was Sea Lab a chop up? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I wonder if you could do that with like really old stuff.
Like, can you do
Astro
that?
Boy and
that's
stuff
not.
Like that.
That's not just like an abridged thing. Like, can you do like, I just like want a more produced, and like, I don't know if we're in a time period you can even try to blink at that, but like maybe that's at the end of this is me looking at my nostalgia and going, that's what I want, this thing that doesn't exist anymore.
It's kind of like asking why there can't be songs like Frontier Psychiatrist by the Avalanches anymore. Because as it turns out, having a song with 100 samples in is just not legally possible because the world has gotten greedier.
Oh yeah, that was like a thing from like me learning about like the history of like the Beastie Boys, and it's like the first time they do 1 billion samples, there's not a lot of laws in place, and the second time it's like we're going to kill you. We're the record companies.
That was part of why De La Soul had so much trouble getting their catalogue back from Tommy Boy. Is like they couldn't re-release anything because getting clearance was impossible.
That's why they're not on Spotify. Interesting. Okay.
Well,
I feel like there's got to be some middle ground here.
It's like it's fucking De La Soul. Like, just it's fine. Everybody who made the money made the money. It's
like
fine.
we want to protect people's
I know, like that's always the
property,
thing. But it's like,
but at the same time, it's like, can't we say like this is a good level of transformative that like
yeah, exactly.
You're not listening to the original thing anymore.
Yeah.
You're not taking listens away from that.
If anything, you're giving them because people are going to be like, where'd this sample come from? So yes, that is this dubism is sampling in hip hop tracks. No. I'm not going to give it that much street cred. Do we want to feel things about Yu-Gi-Oh? Like this, I feel like this entire episode has just been a jumping off point to talk about other tangentially related things.
I mean, we might as well to wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay. Brad B. Thinky thinks and feely feels about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist episode 2, chapters 1 through 3 that are actually like 60 to 62.
I mean, I'm going to speak specifically about the manga.
Yes, let's stick to the manga.
I'm going to say objectively that these first 3 chapters are good to fine.
I would agree with that.
There's a huge caveat with that being
this is not our first chapter.
Yeah, it's not actually the first chapter. It's the next arc, even though they treat it as a different series.
Yes, this is the Dragon Ball Z. That's
the thing. Like, if this wasn't what Viz Media did to it, like, I'd call these first few parts of like the arc like amazing, 10 out of 10. Some of the like best introductions from what is the strongest storylines in the whole series. But like when you've forced it into being the start of a sub-series, it's like, no, what the fuck are you doing? This is barely passable.
Which I guess is why when the anime happened, they just episode 1 is the first time Duel Monster shows up with Kaiba from the quote-unquote original series.
Yeah.
Well, and episode 2 starts with like 2 minutes of explaining what it's all about.
Yeah. This was mechanically not good for our structure of this show. But it was an excuse to get to the thing I wanted, and then when I got the thing I wanted, I didn't like it.
Now, that said,
I was disappointed, I should say.
I feel that it was good. I don't think there was anything specifically that like really dragged it down and made me go, I'm not. It just, it flowed together. There was a couple things that were like, that's silly, but for the most part, it was just like, yeah, okay.
It's very readable.
Yeah.
In the vein of like when I was reading Dragon Ball, and I'm like, this isn't like the second coming, but it's very readable.
Which
whatever
honestly,
that means.
that's what you expect in
it's a page
the
turner.
middle of a series.
But even then, it's like a good. I feel like in it, like not that like all the greatest manga are like this, but just like sometimes it's nice to have a manga of just like I'm turning page, like I'm having just the right amount of a good time to like. Well, I got to turn the page to see what happens next. Like I can poke holes in it, I can have whatever I feelings, but it's like, damn, I could burn through more chapters if I needed to. Easy.
Sometimes when we cover these, it's like I have to push myself to get through it. But like this, especially when you were like, oh, by the way, read the 3rd chapter. I was like, okay,
fine,
sure.
Yeah, again, just some manga is just. I mean, I feel like it's the popular one. Some manga is just more quote unquote readable than others. It just burn. You just go, oh yeah, duh. Pages turn really easy.
Like, when it comes to Weekly Shonen Jump in particular, I want to say that, like, all its best series are ones that are incredibly consumable, as weird as that sounds.
See, that's why I say readable, because consumable feels very just like, I talk a lot about, like, I don't like things you just shove in your brain for whatever, but it's like, I do think something's going on here, even if it's really wacky and all over the place. Like
I don't think it's the way to do it, but I think every single one of the best series can be done like that. You can just feed them into your eyes, like it's just exciting
again,
sugar.
It's very just like, oh, of course, turn the page, go to the next chapter. Of course, yeah. Thinky thinks and feely feels. Honestly, Brad, I think I'm in agreement with you. I think a lot of my love for Yu-Gi-Oh is based out of nostalgia, and coming back to it, I do hold by my like as a positive star that it is very readable. but I think it's just sort of fine. I think just because it is such a like freeform jazz, it makes none of the rules matter because everything's just sort of like, yeah, counterattack whenever you feel like it, bud. Like, you know, turns don't matter. What are life points? I don't know. Like, and maybe that tightens up later and it feels better. But right now it just makes everything, the stakes just feel like we're just doing whatever, which again does make it very readable because you literally can't predict what's going to happen next. We're just kind of loosey-gooseing it. But
yeah,
I'd be very curious how I could feel about this. Well, I can't because we would have read a different chapter if this was coming out now. So, but yeah, I would say think fine to good, more to good. The fine is more of just like, these are really silly in a somewhat annoying way, but not too annoying. And then I would just, feels, I guess, similar, feel good to fine feeling as well. Would you buy?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Does this make you want to buy a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No, not at all.
Would I buy? Yes, I have. More than once.
Would you buy now as an adult, as who you are now?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Like I love Kazuki Takahashi's work. Like it's so amazing. Hold on.
There's a huge caveat here. Would you buy this based on these 3 chapters, having never seen any Yu-Gi-Oh before?
I want to have that reality that I don't know about any other Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and I just read these 3 chapters we read. But with like the rest of me being whoever I am, are regardless. But somehow all of Yu-Gi-Oh has been erased from my brain. I would love to be able to do that, but I can't erase that from my brain enough because it's like I had multiple points of summer. I'm like, well, I know who this is instantly because I know all this other information. And it's like, what would I be feeling if like, what the fuck is that? What is that? Why are they talking about? Who's this guy? What do you mean he's in a coma? What is this thing he's got? Like, what do you mean you're playing me now? Like, I can't. I can guess very poorly how I would think and feel about it. So
I think I would end up treating it like we were talking about with our incredibly good Alien Headway episode. I would end up treating it like a bunch of mysteries. It would become a reason to buy the original series. It would become a reason to keep reading Duelist. I'll be like, I want to know what all this is about. Because it's when you're being thrown in mid-continuity like this, it's like some Marvel Comics shit, you know? Like, you're like, I want to know the broader world.
I mean, to add more nostalgia, like a part of what this arc was, is that I say, looking back on it, I could say I'm nostalgic about it, of just like, you didn't know what episode was going to come on when you turned on the television if it was like an anime series, so you just had to dive in, or like, and then I did it again when I was like older and like teenager and in college, because I would get the Shonen Jump magazine, and some of these series were in the middle, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to let them go to waste. I'm just going to try to read them and figure out what's going on.
Like,
and I feel like that's what this,
by having this particular series in like weaved into the Shonen Jump in the Gun model, you have replicated the true comic reader's experience.
Didn't we do that in something else?
Maybe.
Because I've had this conversation with you before, but I don't know where it could have taken place. I don't know what series it would have been, but yeah, like it's just the like find your like what is going on, find your feet. I think there was like. I think I had the gimmick idea one time that like one of us would read the first chapter and one of us would read the last chapter.
We did.
Oh no! It was somebody read the first chapter and somebody read chapters 2, 3, and 4. Like read other ones.
We did in Space Adventure Cobra. It reads as if there was a previous
Prequel
series
that wasn't.
that
I remember you talking
from,
about that. Yeah,
but there wasn't.
There was not.
That's the beauty of Cobra though, because it's going for that bande dessinée feel, like a Euro comic. So it's always about making it feel like you're reading a story that's in a larger context, even if there is no larger context.
I would say that's a very that is a good point. That's a very good.
Oh, I'm a big fucking mark for Cobra.
I know, that's why we read it.
Indeed.
Because you suggested it to me when I asked for sci-fi series. We did a manga piece theater out of it. I was like thinking, it's like, oh yeah, Brad, let's do in the vein of like when Greens ended, we went to a golf court, shooting like a golf shooting range and documented that. We just go to like go to the Target. No, not playing it. Just go to the Target and buying a pack and opening it like some fucking Z-list YouTubers.
And just see if you can understand any rules that are on the cards.
That'll be our best performing video ever.
No, the best one is when we're going to read a manga about guns and we'll go to the shooting range like I told you we're going to do this year. I still got to research
I don't know, in the current climate, you think that performed well?
I don't know. I don't know. It was more just the thing I wanted to go try. We didn't need to commodify it really, but just being
Sometimes
silly
you just
after
wanna
the
shoot
golfing
things.
outing.
Hey, everybody needs a gun now.
Yeah. No, then we'll shoot you though. You're not
That's
allowed
what
to
the
have them.
solution is, of course. Yes, more
No, what do you
guns.
mean? They're going to shoot you whether you have a gun or not.
I know. They're gonna extra shoot you if you have a gun. We've learned this. Enough of this.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Have guns.
Brad, I've played my. Well, you said they edited them out.
Yeah, it's true.
Brad, draw the card of the deck that makes the credits happen.
I play this card face down. Okay, now you say something.
I play Dark Podcaster in defense mode. We don't
You've
even have
activated my trap card. The credits.
we don't even have attack and defense yet, do we?
Yes, we do.
We did. Somebody did something in attack and defense in the manga, not the anime. Because
Yes.
in the anime, I saw it.
No, it was there in both
in
cases.
defense mode.
Okay, then I missed it.
Like, they don't necessarily explain it, but the cards have the two stats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I meant yes, but like, there's never a moment where they explain or do the mechanic of attack or defense mode. But yeah, the cards have
because
them.
it's doing the sports manga thing of introducing one rule at a time. But the problem
do like
there is that from like the later context, you're just sat there thinking, why is he attacking something with high strength? He loses.
What do you mean
life.
we played a whole game and we never had somebody to catch the ball from our quarterback and we just ran it the whole time? And I didn't know about past plays.
Anyway, we want people to talk to us about the stuff that we're covering.
Sure do.
So go on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com. Check our social links page where you can find a link to our Discord where we hang out and you can chat about all the episodes that we release. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, up there on our social links page, obviously all of the social links, which, you do you wherever you hang out. But the main places to actually get a message across to us would be, as I said, Discord. But Blue Sky is where I actually post things. And then also you can post on the YouTube channel, on the comments on the episodes. That's a place that I check from time to time. And I'm sure if you post someplace else, I'll see it eventually.
We'll remember to check it, I guess.
But you can also find a link up there to our Patreon. Our supporters get perks like getting the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early, which is especially important for the new Shonen Jump drops.
Brad,
So
that
make
was
sure-
a month ago.
Okay.
By this time, there'll be another one.
That's why I'm reminding them now.
It'll happen.
It's important to get subscribed so that
Yeah.
you can get those ahead of time.
Yeah.
And also bonus episodes. There might be a bonus episode up. It's probably after this.
Sometime
There's
around
probably
now.
one coming shortly after this.
We're intending it to happen. I just don't know when.
But we also have to shout out our patrons. So, first and foremost, at our royal tier,
Woo!
we have our crown prince, Slimy Okra.
That's me clapping.
You're not doing the music.
What? I'm going to do it every time?
I guess you don't have to.
We'll have to. We'll figure something out by then. We're probably going to have to edit this by the time this comes out anyways.
Also, at our royal tier, we have our Archduke imaginary numeral.
Woo! Yay! Yay! Beep! 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 Yay! Woo! I'm sorry. It's been a long day of recording.
Next, at our noble tier, we have our marquis, Sir Cake Dwarf.
Cake Dwarf.
And finally, last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Last Man on Earth, Rena, and Laura Carroll. So thank you so much to all our patrons.
Oh shoot! I gotta throw it to B again, don't I?
God damn it. I keep forgetting.
You can literally just use the same one from a...
Yeah, but you'll have different. I guess you won't know what albums you're doing 6 weeks from now.
Charlie
How would you know it's
XCX,
through time?
probably the Wuthering Heights soundtrack.
The things I told you to do, maybe one day, maybe
Maybe.
possibly.
Well, I've almost cleared recommendations, so I've got to start filling them up again. So I will be absorbing specific ones from people before.
Well, I'll send you. Do I send him 2 Cent Show or do I send him Mach 3 or whatever that? Or was it Mach
Just
3?
keep in mind, it has to be, the only rule really is it has to be a studio album. You can't do an EP or a live album or a mixtape.
I
know.
don't know where any of the songs are.
Good
I don't
point.
know what the albums are.
See, that's why it's like I can't send them Heist, because Heist is a compilation. It's like half compilation. I mean, re-recorded compilation, half new ones, and I'm like, that feels like cheating. Is that cheating?
It's very vibes based at times.
Okay.
Why don't you just send all of them and let B sort it out?
Sometimes just saying
step.
an artist and then I pick through and like just go with my heart. Like my friend Vesper recommended Mitski to me, and I sort of just looked over what there was and went, "Oh, Puberty 2's a fun title. Let's go into that."
Thank you, Brad, for that. Thank you, all our patrons. Thank you, all listening. Thank you, special guest B, for joining us for this very strange episode.
Woo!
And make sure you subscribe so you see all the episodes on our feed. And, yo, I'm going to play a card face down for what our next episode is, and y'all suckers will never guess what's coming up next. I promise you. With this arc over, you're never going to guess what's coming next. On today's episode, I play Pot of Greed. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! That's not the right way to say it. How do you say it?
This is Yu-Gi Boy.
Yu-Gi Boy. Somebody recently said in a thing that I was watching that Pegasus was like 25, and I haven't clarified that yet, but I need to, because if he's 25, we're all fucked. How do you say Yu-Gi-Oh? But like, I don't know how to Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess I just go through it.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
On today's episode, I send you to the Shadow Realm. This is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Just pay Dan Green for a cameo.
It's oh yeah, what the fuck am I doing? I know what it is. What the fuck am I doing? I'm like, so like, did I put that bit there later? And it's like, no, I didn't. Heart of the Cards I used, but I didn't use it. Feels stupid.
I was really surprised they didn't say Heart of the Cards once.
That might be a dubism. Oh. Okay, we'll come back in. You're gonna have to do that again when we come back in.
Oh. He left his kids at so he can get that.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm like, I know what you're saying, but I'm like, what is that? Wait, what is that?
I was just thinking of fucking Naruto, because it has that one where it goes, oh, just go my way.
Oh wait, you're doing fuck, what is it called? We all have swords. Why can't I remember it now? It's like I can see it, but there's like my thumb is over top of it, so I can't see it. I know it's da 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 da. Is it Body Shop? Is that no? It's not. Oh, Unholy.
There you go.
There you go. I got there. Stop recording this episode. Sure. I mean, I guess unless you just want more bullshit for post beeps. Did you do 635 for pizza?
45.
Cool. Well, that's perfect.
It's pretty nice in here.
Yes, but no. But yes, your heated seat. Hopefully, we don't have to record for. I say we don't have to record for a few months, and I'm like, I really want to knock out Digimon, so the arc's done.
I mean, I want to knock out Digimon occasionally too, but usually like in a fist fight, so I can feel strong. You know, if I take out that little metal guy with the boxing gloves, fucking hell, get me on.
Brad, you can't say that.
That's just how I feel about the Italians.
About Mediterranean people. B, your hair is honestly really working with the Bowser horns right now.
It's doing all there's stuff going on.
Yeah, it's like okay. It's working well. I'm saying, just to be clear.
Excellent.
Show me what you're working with.
What noise did you make when we left?
Oh, it was like Gregorian charts that.
Isn't that like boat rowing?
Oh.
Maybe. I vaguely in my mind, I'm thinking of like bring out your. No, it's like the hitting yourself in the face with the planks of wood.
Oh shoot! Yeah, from Holy Grail. What are they? Oh, it's the shoot! It's like Latin. It's like the Dies Dunk.
It's like I'm combining multiple things in my mind. I think
they go cohello, Aureus vivir. That's the Las Plagas from Resident Evil 4.
It's like
That's
I'm at
Spanish.
the Super Bowl halftime show already.
What?
What? Because Las Plagas would be Hispanic and Bad Bunny's doing a halftime show. Look, it's a good joke if I was awake.
It's relevant.
It's relevant to when this comes out, it'll have been like a month and change. So
Might be two months.
2 months.
It's a while.
Hey, you know what they say? It's always a Super Bowl somewhere.
It's Super Bowl o'clock somewhere.
It's Super Bowl somewhere.
We're clearly distracted. Sorry, the internet is crackling.
That might have
Okay,
been my
stop.
chair.
You're good. Does your chair sound like a Tesla ball?
Sometimes. I don't
Okay.
know.
It's all the bandwidth after that the Bad Bunny show's either on or done now. Brad, I play my trap card that is end the episode. Shoot, that's the ending gag. Fuck! No, I can't use I'm going to use it. I don't care. Edit it out. What, do you think I'm going to have a more bit? Just shout more. That's how I've been ending everything. Suckers never learn. I'm not giving you any hints. You're never going to see it coming.
I've drawn Exodia. Play it face down.
Don't even build up the hand. You just go, yeah, face of Exodia, face down.
It's a deck that you have 5 Exodia pieces, but it's the head and 4 left hands. Does this work? It's 5 pieces of
Exodia.
No, I finally collected all the pieces of Exodia, so I'm gonna play around with these.
My Exodia
So
can't dance. He's got 2 left feet.
I've pulled this one, so I'll put that. Okay. And now this one. And the head. Oh, okay. And next. Oh, there's it. Okay. I only need one more. Pull. Oh my God! It's 2 left feet.
Yeah, I know. I just love I'm still really proud of my phrase of my Exodia can't dance. He's got 2 left feet.
Okay.
We made it. Homies, we made it.